Hello, my sacred ones. I'm Savina Leo, and welcome to another episode of the Sacred Sutra Podcast, where I break down spiritual concepts so you can understand and integrate them into your everyday life. Today's episode is all about dreams, how to interpret them, where do they come from, what do they mean. Dreams fall under the category of clairvoyance, which is the psychic ability to see. Over the years in my spiritual journey, I've had to work more on my clairvoyant abilities because my clairaudience, the ability to hear, and my claircognizance were always so strong that I never needed to rely on my clairvoyance or my clairsentience that much because my other clairs were super strong. If you want to find out more about psychic abilities, you can always check out episode 2 of this podcast. My clairvoyant abilities have always manifested through dreams, and as long as I've known myself, I've dreamt every single night. I have multiple dreams a night. I'm always processing things through my dreams. Now, this is how I see dreams and how your brain works in dreams. I see it as it's either your brain is just processing the day, what has happened to you, your feelings about the day, or your brain is exploring. It wants to see new things. It wants to act in a creative way. So it's doing that through your dreams. The brain is remembering something, or it's pulling up old files, or the brain is interacting with spirit. Now, it could be spirit in the form of your ancestors, your guides, higher frequencies and higher dimensions, and also lower frequencies. It's why it's so important to have a daily spiritual practice to keep yourself really grounded and protected from anything lower dimensional. Over the years, I've really started to dream things that come true, and I've gotten really good at interpreting what my dreams mean to me. A lot of people come to me and ask me, what do you think this dream means? And my question to them is always, what does this dream mean to you? You have to get to know yourself so you can interpret your dreams, because the meaning that it might have to me, it might not have with you. So you really have to get to know yourself and know what means something to you. So when you have these dreams, you know exactly what they're trying to tell you. When I was a teenager, I was doing one of those puzzles where you kind of have to figure out how to untangle something, or it was like one of those riddle puzzles. And I couldn't figure it out in a moment. And then I went to bed and I dreamt the solution to it. And I think ever since that dream, I trusted myself and my dreams. And that gave me the confidence and the foundation to trust my dreams later on in life. So that's the first thing you need to do. You need to build the confidence of your dreams. So dreams that have meaning to you, that solve things, that give you confidence, you need to write it down. The brain forgets dreams very, very quickly. We get up and our day starts. We hear kids crying. Our dog or cat is getting our attention. And we don't have the capacity to remember everything. Sometimes the meaning shows up hours, days, weeks, sometimes even months after we've dreamt something. I remember one of my favorite prophetic dreams was my grandfather. When he was alive, he used to have a gathering of what he called a sperm count. Now, my grandfather was a badass, so he would only come up with a badass name. And sperm count really means a gathering of all his winning sperm. So all his kids and all his grandkids. We would have this for years. Every last Sunday and every month, we would all gather, bring food, just do family stuff. And it was always a lot of fun. He became ill. He had a couple strokes. And even though he couldn't really talk properly, he always loved his family and loved everyone gathering. One night while he was alive, I dreamt my step-grandmother. She was his wife and she passed away years before I had this dream. And I would always feel her presence at family gatherings, but I never really dreamt her. And one night she came to my dreams. We were at this sperm count in my dreams and we were all standing outside. And I'm telling her, I said, "Hey, auntie, there is cake for you in the fridge. I left cake." And she said, "No, I don't need anything. I'm just here for you." And I just felt her presence, and she made her intention very clear that she wants me to remember her presence and that she was just here hanging around. When I got up, I went to tell my mom immediately. I said, "Mom, I dreamt auntie." And my mom asked me, she said, "What do you think that means?" And I said, "I think she's here for my nana." I dreamt that on a Saturday morning. The Tuesday after that, around lunchtime, my grandfather passed away. And I know that she was there to receive him. I still get chills thinking about it because she made it very clear to me that he was not going to transition on his own, that she's here for him. And it gave me so much peace when he did pass away. So write down your dreams. It may mean something days, weeks, months after. And don't just try to remember your dreams. Whatever fragments, whatever little pieces that you remember, it could be anything as small as a car or the way you felt. Just write whatever you remember. You want to notice any feelings, colors, animals, especially animals. I remember one time I dreamt a bear. I had never dreamt a bear, and this bear was sitting outside of a home that I was in with a couple friends, and we were just running from this bear. I got up the next morning, I googled bear spirit animal or bear dream meaning, and the dream was very, very clear that I needed to set boundaries. And in that moment in my life, I did need to set some boundaries with a person in my life. And my dream was just confirming, hey, you need to stick to these boundaries and be very clear with what you want. I've also dreamt things about other people. So like how other people are either feeling about me or what is going on in another person's life. So many times I've dreamt something is going on with somebody and I reach out to that person and I tell them, hey, I dreamt X, Y, and Z about you. Are you okay? And usually that is exactly what is going on in their life. And me telling them that helped them confirm that, maybe I need to do something about this. Maybe I need to be a little more careful. Water can mean deep emotional change. I dream water in two ways. I dream very deep water, which means like a huge emotional change is about to happen. Or I can dream tsunamis. That's probably the only reoccurring dream that I have. And I know it's because I'm overwhelmed, emotionally overwhelmed. So I tend to dream tsunamis then. I do a lot of work with my emotions when I dream water in any way. Depending on your cultural background, the way you were brought up, different things have different meanings to you. So you kind of have to do some research, Google, and then go, oh, this feels like this is a message for me. And then you can associate your dreams to that meaning. And the next time you dream it, you understand, hey, this is what it's trying to tell me. So here are some other tips that I've learned when it comes to dreaming. Set an intention before you go to bed. If you want a question to be answered by your guides or you want a problem to be solved, ask right before you fall asleep. Ask your guides, your ancestors, can you please show me the solution to my problem? Can you please show me the way out of this? Your guides and ancestors are always willing to answer any question that you have, and they're always trying to give you the solution to something. Not only that, your brain is actually designed to solve problems. So if you give everybody an opportunity to solve a problem that is going on in your life, they will gladly take it. Another tip is do not eat close to bedtime or don't drink alcohol. That makes things really, really muddy. And if you want to learn more about alcohol, you can check out episode 31. That's really about alcohol and spirituality. But I don't eat at least 4 hours before going to bed, and going to bed on an empty stomach really helps the brain concentrate on what it needs to concentrate on. When your body has to focus on digestion, there is no space to focus on problem solving. So I've also noticed that the dreams that happen closest to me getting up is my most psychic dreams. So my last dream for the morning is the dream that has the most meaning and is the most psychic. So you really want to pay special attention to those dreams because it is probably going to give you the most information. Also, what I've found is that there is this connection to the pineal gland, which is the gland right behind your third eye, and melatonin. Psychic abilities happen somewhere between the alpha and the theta brainwave states. And those are the states that are associated with meditating and visualization and daydreaming, and then the energy that occurs right before you sleep. That kind of in-between phase between awaking conscious and then subconscious. In this state, a lot of melatonin is produced, and it has to do with light. And when the sun goes down and we're completely void of light, we tend to produce melatonin. It's why you see a lot of witches in dark spaces, in dark rooms, in dimly lit rooms, because it helps them produce melatonin, which helps you have clearer visions. And I've been taking melatonin for a very long time. I had sleep issues. And then I realized that it actually helps my psychic visions and my clairvoyant dreams. Now, I would not recommend continued use of melatonin, but it does help in your ability to have psychic visions. Now, what you can do is make sure before you go to bed that you aren't stimulated by any light. I will sleep with an eye mask, and that just helps me block out any additional light. And I spend a lot of time in dimly lit rooms. The next time you dream something and it feels special to you, it feels like it has a meaning, just make note of it, and the answers will reveal itself over time. Even if you only remember fragments of your dreams, you're probably going to be better off than somebody like me who dreams in like full movies, because your brain is picking exactly what it needs to know. I have to decipher full movies, but I do love dreaming every single night, and I hope you do too. As usual, you can find me on Instagram at I am Savina Leo. If you would like any guidance on your life and your life's purpose, you can always find the Work With Me button in the show notes. Check out my Patreon if you want companion journals and planners to my podcast episodes. There are gratitude journals, lifestyle journals, and even a journal for this episode. You can also find my free 21 radical affirmations for manifesting. These affirmations are not just your regular affirmations. They're affirmations to help you change the way your brain thinks. They are also linked in the show notes. I'm wishing you guys happy dreams and psychic dreams. Until next time.